want to talk to you about fake bags, designer goods. Is it ever a good idea? Should you buy them? Should you not? Should you be like, I don't care, I want a Chanel bag and either I can't afford it right now or I don't ever want to pay that sort of money, so I'm gonna go and get myself a fake and enjoy it. Whatever your stance is on this, I got really interested in this and I want to just have a general discussion about it, like a debate, I guess. Share your opinions below. All opinions welcome. This is a democracy. So let's begin. When it comes to fake things, I was doing some research on this and I honestly had no clue what the industry was really like. When I think of fake stuff, I imagine some dodgy guy at the market with like a bin liner full of fake stuff, and he does a bit of a Del Boy, that's like a British thing, but he like scarpers off with his sack of fake bags whenever the police show up. That's what I had in my mind, and I had no clue about the truly dark side of it. No clue whatsoever. Now I have got my information, my sources from the BBC, the Independent Online, and also the National Fraud Intelligence Bureau. So I'm not just making it up, but I thought it would be interesting to talk about it. Personally speaking, I used to buy bags from River Island because I liked them. They didn't last very long, that was the only downside. I was like, every other month I was spending another £40 on a new bag because like the lining would like peel off and stuff like that. But I came to the realization that I'd rather have a pretty bag off the high street, or maybe from, you know, somewhere like Aspinall where it's like lesser money, than have something that's fake and feel that embarrassment in case anyone noticed. The other thing I really think is that when you buy one of these brands, when you buy one of these bags, or even designer watches, Breitling, Rolex, Cartier, whatever, you buy it first of all because you know it's the real thing. When you wear it, you feel good, you feel confident. You're like, yes, this bag complements the outfit, it brings the whole outfit up. Maybe you're just into designer brands anyway, but you also buy it with the knowledge that it has an inherent value behind it. And I wonder what the point is of buying a fake, knowing that it's a fake, that it has no value, and that if you were to sell it, it would have no value, and you probably wouldn't be able to sell it publicly as well. I know that there are super fakes. I'm getting onto that in a second. So they're just kind of my thoughts. One thing that I've noticed a lot of fake sellers talk about in particular is this aspect of, it might be fake, but hey, I work at the Chanel company and it's been made in the same warehouse or factory. It's made from the same elements of bag. It's just that I've taken those pieces and I've gone home and I've done it myself. So technically the materials are authentic Chanel materials, but I made it on the sly, or I took it home and did it at home. And this seems to be a really common thing that is said, and actually the proof in that, there is no proof that that actually happens. The reality of it is, and this is what I couldn't believe, I didn't even realize this was a thing. The majority of fake items start out in China, and I didn't comprehend this, but apparently children are used to make these bags. Now what they do is when they export the bags to other countries, specifically UK I'm talking about, that's where my information is from. But when they export these to the UK, if they're counterfeit and they've got a brand logo on them, UK customs will destroy them. If they come through and it looks like a Chanel bag, classic flat, but there's no double C on it, UK customs will let it through. It then ends up at a place in the UK where they do what's called the finishing. So the finishing is where they will put on those brand logos. They will put on like inside the little tags where it says Chanel or Louis Vuitton or whatever it may be. It's where they take the raw product and they label it up. One such case actually that came out in the news a couple of weeks ago, after a raid on a place in Manchester where apparently it's really big business and you can buy fakes, they found a group of illegal immigrants. They were in the top room of this building that had mould on the ceiling. Each of them was being paid 70p a day, and their job was to put the fake logos on it. I was stunned. Okay, some of you might be watching this and you're like, how didn't you know? But I didn't know the other thing, that I actually double checked this 3 times on 3 different websites, because I was like, wow, that can't be right. But apparently the fake bag industry is run by drugs gangs. It's what pays for drug cartels, it pays for gun runners. What is a gun runner? I don't even know. That's come off the National Fraud Intelligence Bureau. I didn't realise that this industry is run by criminals who will only sell for cash, and then that means that they can use that cash to fuel these drug cartels. I had no clue. The fake industry is so much darker than just, I'm gonna buy a cheap bag for the sake of it. The one thing that really annoys me is, I was talking earlier about super fakes. Now, apparently a super fake are fakes that are so perfect that even in stores they struggle to verify them. They're like, actually this could be real, or it might not be, or straight away they're like, yeah, it's real, when actually it's not. This ties back to, you know, that point I was saying earlier, where a lot of fake sellers will say, hey, it's actually made in the Chanel factory, and they say it because we believe it. Super fakes tie into that so well, because a super fake, they'll be like, yeah, it was made in the factory, that's why it actually looks perfect. In reality, there is pressure on these gangs to actually make bags that look as good as possible, because the better the bag looks, the more realistic the bag looks, the more it can be sold for. And this is where unsuspecting buyers get caught up in things. About 5 years ago, I was duped, and I was done out of about £600, I think it was. I'd gone onto eBay and there was a Louis Vuitton bag that I wanted. It looked like the real thing. The seller had like positive feedback for everything. This bag came with its box, it came with everything. It didn't come with receipts or anything like that, but I was really 110% positive that this bag was the real thing. And the lady had been so helpful to me, because I'd asked for all different photos and she'd done it and she'd sent them. And I should have been more wary, because when I look back now, she was actually very pushy, because she'd send me the pictures and then she'd be like, well, are you gonna buy this or not? Like, she was really trying to push the sale through. Anyway, I bought this bag, waited for it to turn up. I was so excited for it to turn up. When it eventually did, my heart sank. It was, she'd obviously taken very creative photos, because the bag in real life, you could see straight away it was fake. I didn't know what to do at this point. I contacted PayPal straight away, only it turns out, and I don't know if this has changed, but it turned out at the time, if you believe something is counterfeit, PayPal will not automatically give you your money back. It's not like the seller sent me something that was broken and I can take a photo of that and prove it. It's actually really hard to get your money back if this is the case. And I hadn't paid on a credit card. If I'd done that, then it would have been no problem. What I had to do, and what PayPal requested me do, is that I take this piece of rubbish bag into Louis Vuitton and get someone to confirm it's fake, and write on Louis Vuitton headed paper that it was fake. I mean, can you believe it? First of all, I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna be seen dead with this thing. Secondly, I'm pretty sure if I went into Louis Vuitton and I wasn't even buying anything, and I'm like, hey, can I waste your time checking this piece of rubbish and get you to write something for me? They'd be like, can you go away, please? So buying fakes is a real frustration for anyone who has been charged the money that is near enough what the real thing is anyway. That's when it hurts the most. I think if you go and buy something and it's £20 and you're like, yeah, I know it's fake, that's one thing. But when you've spent £600, 700, 1,000, and you realise, or maybe you don't realise, that it's not the real thing. I'm not actually going to do a conclusion to this video. I've got my opinions on what I think of it, and I would, if I could recommend to any of you, I would recommend that you save for what you want, even if it takes you like years. Save for what you want as opposed to buying something that isn't the real thing, because honestly, when you do eventually get the real thing and you have that experience of going into the store and making that purchase, and then furthermore knowing that it's got an inherent value, it makes you feel like you've worked so hard. It's like the best feeling in the world when you've worked and worked and saved, and then you get it in the end and you feel comfortable and confident with it, and you're like, yes, like amazing, and I've got my bag or whatever. Honestly, let me know what your thoughts are on this. Have you done any research into it? Maybe some of you know stuff that I don't even know and I haven't even spoken about here. What do you think of YouTube videos that promote fakes? I've seen those as well. Like, doing my research, I came across a lot of channels that review and recommend and suggest fake bags and where to get them from. And I didn't even know that was a thing. I was really surprised by that. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to talking to you in the comments.